So here's a video it was going around, and there was a lot of controversy actually in the comments, which is why I saved this and wanted to play it. There's this German Shepherd playing with this little kid in the grass. Let's play it, because you got dogs, and dog owners will always stand up for dogs. So I want to play this video. See if this looks fine to you, or if you see any problem with this. This shit looks dangerous to me. I'm just going to be honest. I know the dog's lovable, right? Look how little that baby is, though. German Shepherds are notoriously very good, like, animals to have around your pets. And we're going to read some of the comments before you... He's grabbing the kid's arm with his teeth. He's just, he's just babysitting the baby, right? He's just playing with the baby. So let's read some of these comments if we can. My aunt's dog bit my sister on her face when she was a toddler. I think my sister squealed and annoyed the dog, and the dog taught my sister a lesson. Like it would a pup. People often make the mistake of assuming dogs think and communicate like us. If I recall correctly, that breed had a bad reputation around children. A lot of people were saying, I would never let this dog show his teeth to my baby like that, right? You were there when your son got attacked by that Rottweiler, right?
Well, here's the difference. That how do you explain it? That dog has probably been in the family since the baby was born. That dog is probably very protective of that baby. When my kid got bit by a dog, that dog didn't know my kid really. Right. He's never been around him really. Right. Like he doesn't know. Right. Where like I had a Rottweiler after my daughter was born. Yeah, my daughter was born. When we had the dog, got very almost aggressive and protective after the baby was born in the house. But not to us, just like other people that didn't know. Like they come around the house. And not always, but just some, you really didn't like men with beards, or she didn't like
what?
She was very aggressive towards people with beards.
Really? So I wouldn't be allowed.
It was just very strange, but she was a good dog. Like a great dog. Like you want a good protective dog? That dog would have done anything for the family, So I can't say never, but probably would have never hurt the baby, You
don't think so? You don't think there's any... So here's a comment. It says, it's foolish to allow aggressive breeds alone with small children. I don't think these dogs are that aggressive towards people.
Okay, but they're saying breeds are aggressive. That's not... Any dog can be aggressive.
Right.
A lot of it's how dogs are raised, or you look at a lot of it too is the parents, like the parents they were born into, like what kind of like how they were, their attitudes and stuff. And that's not always true either. It's how you raise them, as long as you take care of them when, like, you want to get them when they're small.
The dogs?
Yes. Yeah. You want to get them when they're puppies so you can teach them how to be.
Right.
Because they do learn. Because I have the two dogs I got, because we have three, but the first one I wasn't like around when she first got him. The two dogs that I got one is a puppy, and the other one was like 7 months old. And the one that's 7 months old is hard to tell. I mean, he listens to me, but I'm very like assertive with him, Right. And he's still like got tics and behaviors. You can tell like he learned before you got him. Where like Murphy, my short hair, we got him as a puppy. Like he does. I mean, he's the best dog ever. Right. Like he listens to me. I can just whistle and he comes back. Like perfect dog. And some dog breeds are better at listening and stuff and learning. And there are more aggressive breeds, obviously, because they're bigger dogs. And you got to look at breeds based on like what they were bred to be.
What were German Shepherds bred to be? Shepherds. It's not sheep.
Yeah, but were protective too. Yes. Right.
So that doesn't bother you at all, that video of the dog? Like, it doesn't scare you just a little bit? I think about it like
this. If I was the parent and I saw the dog, like I
biting
would.
the kid's arm a little bit, I would feel like I would stop that quickly. I would make sure the dog knew, don't do that.
But a lot of animals know how to play too.
Right.
So it'd be hard at first, but if you've been around, like that video is probably not the first time that dog's played it. And they probably like sat with the dog and like the kid and like to see how it would go. And I'm not saying something couldn't happen, for sure. Anything could happen. People snap on people. Like anything could happen. Anything's possible.
Right.
So, I mean, if you want to sit and play that game and like never let that kid be around the dog. But a lot of people that say stuff too probably have never owned a dog. Just like when people say how to raise your kids, but they've never had a child. Like,
yeah, 100%. And I'm in that category, right? But it's like, it's not, I would never say, don't ever let the dog be around your child. I would be fine with the dog being around the child. Just when he was like nibbling at him and stuff,
yeah,
I feel like I'd be the person that would like make him stop. Like, do not put your teeth on my baby's arm. We're never going to go there. I can't let you go that far, you know? Like,
they're playing, I guess.
Right, they're playing. Everything's cool. But dogs have in the past, sometimes, like a dog's not a perfect creature. Just because you have a German Shepherd doesn't mean it's a beautiful, perfect angel. It might get pissed for some reason or another. And it's already got your kid's arm in his mouth. That dog can do a lot of damage way before you can run over there and get the kid away from him.
For sure.
Especially if they're this small. And that's, I think, where people were kind of freaking out. I don't think this dog, it looks like they're having a great time. The dog loves the baby. He's super protective. I get it. German Shepherds are awesome. I don't think this is a huge issue, but a lot of people were, and maybe not in the comments of this damn video, but the one I saw, a lot of people were upset. They're like, how could you let that dog ever, like, show his teeth to your son like this and that? And I was just wondering, you know, if you thought, because here's a scenario, right? Like cats. My parents have 2 cats, and they are the most, like, lovable. They're so awesome. They'll lay down and let you rub their belly and everything, right? But if they're in a little bit of a playful mood, right, and you start roughhousing around with them, they'll bite you. It'll be gentle, but they'll also leave like scratches. They're still being gentle, but they're like clawing you up at the same time because their stuff is so sharp. Yeah. And they're playing around, but I'll come away with like scratches and my hands are bleeding. I'm like, we were just goofing off, right? So it's like with a dog, like, I mean, you just never know. What if the dog just wants to play and his playing is like making your kid bleed or whatever else? Dogs' mouths have a lot of bacteria in them. It could be I heard of a woman who lost her arms and her legs from her dog licking an open cut, right? It's like a thing. It's like a one-time thing that ever happened. But
well, she probably got, what's it called when?
She got something. There was a bacteria in her dog's mouth, and she had an open cut, and her dogs were licking her.
That can happen to anybody. Like you cut your foot walking on the street where you get...
Sure.
Well, I can't think of what it's called, but basically
gangrene or something? I don't know.
No. When you go septic.
Right. So, yeah, it's not the end of the world. I don't think this baby's in any danger. It looks like the dog loves him very much. People were mostly just saying the owner, you should never let your dog like open his mouth and clamp down on your child's arm or anything. The dog should have his mouth shut around my children. That's what most people were saying, and they were freaking out about it. And I'm on the fence about it. I don't know. Like I don't have children yet, so I can't really say like what I would or wouldn't let the dog do with my child, and I don't have dogs, right? So that's why I played the video for you.
It's hard to say because I've never had a dog that like does that. Like my dog probably wouldn't be allowed to do that with the arm either, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't allow it probably, but like obviously they do, and then you can tell the dog's like playing. But my dogs, when they play, they don't get bitey either. They bite each other when they fight, right? But I'm fine with that, whatever. But if there's times where the dogs even like, because I scare them right away when they're little. They'll like, if they are playing and they bite and you're like, ow! And you guys scare them like you hurt. It's like, what did you do? And the dog's like, oh. And now they know like not to bite you.
I've never heard that. That makes sense though.
So they know. And more bitey dogs, what you teach them is what I've done too in the past is if they are bitey dogs and if they get you or nip you once or something, you take their lip and you push it up against their teeth on their own teeth so they know how it feels, or you bite them back.
Yeah.
Bite them in the ears or something.
I've heard that one too.
They learn.
Yeah, you have to train them. Hopefully these people have had this dog for a long time. It looks like they have.
Mm-hmm.
And they've raised it since it was a baby. And I feel like I would trust a dog too, you know?
And especially female dogs too become more parental.
Right.
I think too when a baby's born. Like you're not supposed to like cats around babies. I know that because they'll like lay on top of them and
a cat
like, suffocate them.
Yeah, man.
Basically.
A cat just doesn't. They'll freaking mess you up. Yeah, they are dicks. It's like they're so lovable sometimes, but then in a heartbeat. Like I was playing with, we have a little baby kitten and a full-grown male kitten.
Oh snap! You got another cat?
Well, not us. My parents do. Yeah, it's out at the farm. But the little baby kitten, the full-grown cat was laying there. He was being so nice and cuddly, and I was rubbing him. And the little cat came over and just like flicked his tail, and he got up and hissed at her and swatted her. And I was like, that pissed you off just now? What the hell was that? And then he went back to being nice. So it's like, you never know with cats. Cats can like switch up in a second. So cats are different for sure around children. Dogs seem to be for the most part, dogs seem to be way better, especially this breed of dogs. So I don't think whoever was freaking out about this video, you don't really have too much of a reason. You know, I get the concern. I don't know. These parents seem to be just fine with it, so trust them.
When you tell your cat don't, he's all like, looks at it, he's like,
yeah, you say don't to a cat. He looks at you like, go clean up my litter box, bro. Like,
or he'll do what you tell him not to do.
100%.
He'll look at you like, don't do. Well, yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do though, bro? I could F you up right now. And cats, oh my God, man, they will F you up too. You gotta grab like those big welding gloves and hold them. You see those videos of them at the vet? They gotta hold them down, welding gloves and stuff. Can barely contain that little creature.
And joining us this morning is Blue Sky CEO Jay Graber. Jay, welcome. Congratulations.
Hold that. That's a woman?
Well, they said his name is Jay. It could be a dude as a woman.
It looks like an AI robot, does it not?
Yeah, something.
On all of your success, full disclosure, I migrated over a couple of weeks ago. I've never been happier. How are you going to capitalize on this burst of engagement?
Hi, thanks for having me on. We're really
Pause!
Is it a dude as a woman?
That looks like a very suspicious person to me.